Kamali, taking you through some of the things people are talking about and some of the stuff they're sharing around the world on Newsfeed today. There's a new world champion out there. He's 16, made $3 million by playing video games, one in particular. Wildfires in the Arctic signal a new phase of the climate crisis. And the bad behavior of one family being held up as somehow indicative of a certain kind of Indian tourist. That's what social media does. We have the debate from Indian Twitter. And top of our newsfeed, Fortnite, the biggest online game on the planet, being played by 8 million people right now, had the biggest night of its young life last night. It crowned a World Cup champion, a champion whose excellence at the game means he's now a multi-millionaire. Adama has all the detail.
Your world champion! Booga!
He's 16, he goes by the name Booga, and he just won $3 million.
Words can't even explain it right now. I'm just so happy. Everything I've done, the grind, it's all paid off, and it's just insane.
Kyle Giersdorf is the first Fortnite solo world champion. The Fortnite World Cup is the richest tournament yet in the exploding world of esports. A total prize pot of $30 million was up for grabs to 100 competitors who were mostly teenagers. This guaranteed every finalist at least $50,000, making him or her the envy of the schoolyard when returning home. Many questioned how a game that is free to play could come up with such an astounding prize pool. Well, its creators, Epic Games, made $2.5 billion in 2018. And that comes from getting gamers to pay for in-game extras. For example, limited time offers that make the characters dance differently, to different music, or take on different costume skins, along with other cosmetic changes that have nothing to do with actual ability. But those who made it to the World Cup weren't just virtual posers. They beat around 40 million other players in a 10-week online qualifying contest. For this 13-year-old, the weight of winning some of the money proved too much. The teenager known as NZ King embraces his father after coming in 5th, winning $900,000. Now, parents often fight with their kids over playing too many games. British teenager Jaden Ashman's gaming caused arguments with his mother and sister, but Ashman has won $1 million.
Earlier we tried to get him away from it because he needs to focus on his school, but now look at him, he's gone to America and he's done all this.
The 15-year-old from Essex, England came in second and will share $2.25 million with his gaming partner. His family are already thinking of what he could do with the money.
Well, I think he's going to buy an house for his mother. He's going to buy me Chinese. That's what he said.
Okay, let's take a look at some of the other things that caught our eye on social media. It is Earth Overshoot Day, a day created by people studying the planet's environmental decline. The Global Footprint Networks say the Earth has used all the resources it can sustain for this year by today. The day at which we used up the clean air, water and Earth is getting earlier each year. In 1993, Earth Overshoot Day was October the 21st. In 2003, it was the 22nd of September. In 2017, it was August the 2nd. Current estimates say we're using nearly twice the amount we should. We would need 1.75 Earths to meet humanity's need. The Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, will be the guest editor for the September issue of British Vogue. She says she will have 15 women who are described as forces for change. They include the New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, Greta Thunberg, the climate expert, and Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Well, next we go to India, where video of a family who got busted stealing from their hotel in Bali has blown up on social media. Here's Nia in New Delhi.
While it's not uncommon for tourists to take home toiletries from their hotel rooms at the end of a vacation, one Indian family vacationing in Bali took things to a whole new level. A viral video shows the family's bags being screened by the hotel staff, and things like towels, soap dispensers, hangers, even the hair dryer from their room coming out of their bags. And the family is heard telling the staff that they will pay for these things that they had stolen from the rooms. But that video, which has now gone viral in India, has sparked a lot of outrage among Indian Twitter users. Like Hemant, who says, such an embarrassment for India. Each of us carrying an Indian passport must remember that we are ambassadors of the nation and behave accordingly. He's suggesting India start cancelling passports of people who erode our credibility like this when vacationing abroad. You've got Sarah saying, you can't steal and say I will pay on being caught. That doesn't make sense at all. More outrage from users like this one who says there are people who do this at hotels and Airbnbs in India too. It's amazing that some people have all the money to enjoy a nice place, but such behavior leaves a bad taste and clearly is very bad as far as the image of Indians abroad are concerned as well. Another Twitter user says that it's a complete shame. If you can afford so much money for a vacation, why do you need to steal items which are only a few hundreds of rupees worth? There are some, though, who are cautioning against sharing that video extensively on social media. Ravi saying that we don't know the complete facts. Kleptomania is a disorder and the family may just be suffering from that. And he's also saying, let's please think about the children who look like they are school-going age before spreading that video further. Hitartho speaking in defense of Indian tourists in general, saying 25 million Indians travel abroad annually. We have maybe 100 cases like this. Why defame an entire nation for the actions of a handful of people? And finally, Darshal, finding the funny aspect of this entire story, he shared this image of a car that's completely loaded with mattresses, chairs, and everything you could possibly find in a hotel room, saying this is what the Indian family returning from Bali possibly looked like.
Now, fires continue to burn in the Arctic, and while that is not an unusual fact, what is unusual and a sign of the warming planet is the fact that these fires are burning Arctic peat, which should be moist at this time of year, and it's not. It's dried out, and the fires have released as much carbon as Sweden does in an entire year. And now to the United States of America, where President Donald J. Trump has gone a whole weekend without tweeting anything offensive. Just joking. He tweeted something offensive just a few hours ago.
What does that mean when a child is sitting in their own feces, can't take a shower? Come on, man. What's that about? None of us would have our children in that position. They are human beings.
be attacked by a president issuing racist tweets is beyond insulting. It is disgusting.
I guess you feel like you're doing a great job, right?
All right, let's spin around the world now for some other stories you need to know this Monday. Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson will keep his high-profile job as the director of the American Museum of Natural History's Hayden Planetarium, and his shows on Fox and National Geographic will be broadcast again. This comes after an investigation into sexual misconduct allegations against him was closed. This is the end of a second investigation into Dr. Tyson, the one that started earlier this year. This photo shows a teenage American suspected of murdering an Italian police officer. The man handcuffed and blindfolded is Gabriel Christian Natale Kjorth. He and Finnegan Lee Elder are accused of stabbing Mario Cicello Rega last week. The picture of one of the boys being held like this has been criticized by some people in Italian media, praised by others, including the Italian Deputy Prime Minister Matteo Salvini. And this is Marcus Hutchins, and he's a British hacker who was facing jail time in the United States. He will now not be sent to prison after a Damascene conversion a few years ago. He created some malware which US authorities say was used to hack people's online banking accounts. But around the same time, he switched to become an ethical hacker. He helped stop the WannaCry hack in 2017, which affected computer systems all over the world, including the UK's NHS. China has sentenced a man called Huang Qi to 12 years in prison, more than 2 years after his arrest. He's been described as a cyber dissident and was found guilty of leaking state secrets and giving them to foreign entities. Huang started a website in 1998 which published the stories of people who say they'd suffered at the hands of the Chinese state. And a guy called Lenny Mohan has been creating art using the running app Strava. He's been running around San Francisco making the bat logo, a cat, as you're about to see, and one of the artists there, Frida Kahlo. The Frida one required a run of almost 47 kilometers. And now we can take you to Cairo and show you some women there who are using food to bring communities together.
هنا بيحسسك بروح الفريق، يعني بيحسسك كأنك انت في مطبخك وبتطبخي حاجتك او في بيتك انت، وروح الفريق واحدة، يعني المصريين والسوريين المعاملة واحدة، بقينا اصدقاء، بقينا غارب في اقصر فترة ممكنة. بصراحة لما بحس انه قاعدة مع السوريين البلدي او السوداني او المصري بكون مرتاحة، يعني مثلا واحدة بتقلي معاناتها بتخفف عني، يعني بتقلي يعني بمعنى انه ما بس انت عم تعيشي الألم، كمان نحن عم نعيش الألم.
Very humble location, and the food that's coming out is fantastic, world quality, top notch, and it's being produced at a high standard, a very high level. The women are superb, absolutely superb. So the style is Syrian, which is a little different from the Egyptian, but still the same types of food. It's just amazing, quite amazing.
And last up today, we have an Animals Doing Stuff, and what these animals are doing are trying to survive as a species. It's Global Tiger Day, and there are a couple of headline facts to pay attention to. There were said to be 100,000 tigers in the wild 100 years ago. Today, there are just over 3,000, but the number is actually on the rise, thankfully. And that will do from the Newsfeed team. Reach out to me with your questions, comments, complaints and suggestions. You'll find me at Kamali Melbourne. You'll find us 24/7 on YouTube. You can subscribe to our channel and follow me on Twitter. Follow, subscribe, add. See you again tomorrow.